Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig through stacks of sources to bring you the insights that matter, straight up. Ever feel like you're hitting a wall with English? Bursts of progress then. Nothing. Stuck. Well, today we're diving into maybe why that is and the surprisingly simple answer. Mastering English really comes down to consistent daily practice. Think of it like this. Learning English, or really any skill, it's like growing a big tree, right? You can't just dump a ton of water on it once a month and hope for the best. It needs that daily attention, just a little bit, consistently. And that consistency, even tiny bits, that's the real secret to, deep, strong growth.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today in this deep dive. We'll look at the science, like why does consistent practice actually change your brain? Then we'll get really practical, actionable ways you can weave English into your life every day. We'll also tackle those common roadblocks, things that trip you up, and share some really cool success stories. Proof it works.
Right. And our sources for this deep dive, they're solid guides, picks to give you real steps, a clear path that works for you. Okay, so that daily nurturing idea, the tree analogy, it clicks. But let's go deeper. What's actually going on inside our heads? What's the science making this consistency thing so, powerful for learning a language?
It's fascinating, really. It boils down to a few core principles that literally change how your brain is wired. First up, there's neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't fixed. It actually rewires itself when you practice regularly. We're talking physical changes, building new, faster pathways for English. So every little bit you do makes the language feel more, natural.
Yeah.
Automatic almost.
So neuroplasticity, it's like my brain's paving an English expressway. The more I travel on it, makes the journey smoother.
That's a great way to put it. Exactly. And then building on that, you have spaced repetition. This isn't just some study hack. It's a really powerful way to get vocabulary and grammar into your long-term memory for good. Think about it. Learn, say, 10 words today. Don't just leave it there. Look at them again tomorrow, then maybe in 3 days, then a week later. That planned spacing, it works against your brain's natural tendency to just forget stuff. It locks it in. Then you've got muscle memory, like riding a bike, same idea for language. Consistently practicing pronunciation. It trains your mouth, your tongue, makes those sounds smooth, automatic. Same for writing. Getting that sentence slowed down, it becomes second nature, freeing up your brain to focus on what you want to say.
Yeah, I know that feeling. You learn a word, feel good, and then tomorrow, poof, gone.
Yeah.
That's that forgetting curve, isn't it?
Precisely. That's the forgetting curve in action. With our review, we lose like half of what we learned super quickly, days sometimes. So that consistent exposure, the spaced repetition we talked about, that's your weapon against it. Keeps things fresh, stops the constant relearning cycle. And finally, maybe the most important bit for actually using the language. Building confidence and fluency. Like fluency isn't just knowing stuff, it's using it comfortably, right?
Yeah.
Without freezing up or overthinking every word. The more you practice consistently, the less scary it feels. You worry less about mistakes, and that makes your communication way smoother, more natural, and much more confident.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. The why is clear. So now the big question, the how. How do you, the listener, actually weave this into your day-to-day life so it doesn't feel like, another chore?
All right, let's get practical. We've identified 6 key steps for you, really designed to take your English up a notch. Step 1, set realistic goals. Super important. Why? Because huge goals lead to burnout. Realistic ones keep you going. Start small, maybe 15-30 minutes a day. That's it. Break bigger goals down, like learn 5 new words or phrases today. Actually use them. Or aim to speak for just 10 minutes. Read 1 article. Small, manageable chunks. Maybe learn words like ingredient, spicy, recipe, and try saying, this recipe needs fresh ingredients. Simple starts.
Okay, manageable chunks. I like that. What's next?
Step 2, create a daily routine. Habits need a home in your schedule, right? Find specific times. Listen to something in English at breakfast. Read a bit before bed. Write a quick journal entry. Pin it to something you already do. Like, okay, every evening I'm going to write 1 paragraph about my day in English.
Hook it on up.
Hook it onto an existing habit. Smart. Step 3, use technology and apps. Wisely, though. They make learning fun, interactive, always available, super convenient. Things like Duolingo for lessons, sure, but also Anki or Quizlet for flashcards, great for spaced repetition. Or maybe italki, apply, for actually speaking with tutors, getting real practice. Example, use Anki flashcards for delicious, meaning tastes very good. Or practice verb tenses on Duolingo, like I walked. Simple reminders.
Right, leveraging the tools we all have.
Step 4, immerse yourself. Really dive in. Why? It speeds things up like crazy. Helps you pick up the little things, the nuances, change your phone language. Watch Netflix Friends is great, or maybe The Crown if you want something different. Use subtitles, then try without. Listen to English music. Try to catch the lyrics. Make English part of your environment. Like, watch The Crown, notice phrases, I'm delighted. Or listen to Ed Sheeran, figure out the story. It's all input.
So surround yourself with it. Makes sense.
Step 5. Practice all 4 skills. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. Don't neglect any. You need balance for overall progress. So listen to TED Talks, speak with friends, find online groups, read news articles, maybe from The Guardian or similar. Write stuff, reviews, journal entries, even just social media posts in English. Watched a movie like Inception. Try writing a short review. Plot was complex, visuals stunning. Practice putting thoughts into words.
Good point. Gotta work all the muscles. And the last step.
Step 6. Track your progress. This is huge for motivation, and it shows you where you need maybe a bit more focus. Keep a list of new words, maybe in a notebook or app. Record yourself speaking once a month, you'll hear the difference. Summarize books or articles you read, anything to see how far you've come. Think about logging. Yes, learn 100 new words this month, or track specific words like efficient in a spreadsheet. See your growth.
Okay, the 6 steps seem really concrete. But you mentioned something earlier. This isn't just about English, is it? It sounds like this consistency thing taps into something deeper, like how habits work in general.
Exactly. That's where it gets really interesting. We're talking about the fundamental power of habits. They say it takes, around 66 days on average to form a new habit.
Yeah.
Once your English practice becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth, it takes way less willpower. It gets triggered by cues, time of day, location, and reinforced by the reward, the feeling of progress.
Yeah.
So trying to cram your brain's habit-forming circuitry just isn't built for that. It likes slow and steady.
Ah, the 66-day rule. Okay.
And tied into that is the role of dopamine, that little feel-good chemical in your brain. Every time you tick off a small task, learn those 5 words, have that 10-minute chat rage, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. That makes the process feel good, rewarding. It actually reinforces the behavior, makes you want to do it again. It's your brain's built-in motivation system.
So it's like training your brain to enjoy learning.
Kind of, yeah. And it all leads to the compound effect. This is so powerful. Those tiny, consistent daily efforts, they don't just add up, they compound. Like interest in a bank account. Think about it. Learn just 5 genuinely useful new words or phrases a day. Seems small, right? Over a year, that's 1,825 words. That's a huge amount, enough to handle most everyday conversations easily. The growth is exponential over time.
Wow, 1,825 words from just 5 a day. That really puts it in perspective. But let's be real. Life happens. What about when you listening hit a rough patch, motivation just vanishes, or you feel totally stuck?
Yeah, that's going to happen. It's totally normal. But there are ways through it. Lack of time, that's a big one. Try piggybacking English onto other things. Listen to podcasts while cooking, cleaning. Use flashcard apps during your commute or coffee break. Squeeze it in.
Integrate, don't just add. Okay.
The lack of motivation. Go back to those small, realistic goals. Celebrate the tiny wins seriously. Acknowledge them. And remind yourself why you started. Visualize yourself succeeding. What will fluent English unlock for you? Keep that goal in sight.
Right, focus on the why.
Fear of mistakes. Oh, this holds so many people back. You just have to try to reframe it. Mistakes aren't failures. They're proof you're trying. They're learning opportunities. Honestly, even native speakers mess up. It's okay.
Good reminder, it's part of the process.
And if you feel like you're hitting a plateau where you're putting in the effort but not seeing results, shake things up. Try a totally different method. Watch a different type of movie. Read a different genre. Join a conversation group if you usually study alone. Change the stimulus.
So vary the routine if it gets stale. Makes sense. Now, you mentioned proof this works. Does this consistent daily approach really lead to success in the real world? Got any stories?
Oh, absolutely. The sources are full of them. Look at well-known polyglots people who speak many languages fluently. Figures like Benny Lewis or Steve Kaufman, they constantly emphasize daily practice. Benny Lewis, famous for fluent in 3 months, he stresses speaking from day 1 every day, even if it's just a little bit online. Consistency over intensity, always. Steve Kaufman talks a lot about daily immersion, tons of listening and reading, making it part of his lifestyle.
So the pros swear by it.
They do. But it's not just them.
Yeah.
We saw examples of everyday learners, too. One story mentioned a learner achieving conversational fluency within a year, just by doing 15 minutes of conversation practice daily with a language partner. Just 15 minutes. Imagine that commitment. Daily chats adding up over a year. It shows that small, consistent effort is incredibly powerful.
Wow, just 15 minutes daily. That really drives the point home. Okay, as we start to wrap up this deep dive, for everyone listening thinking about their own English journey, what's the big takeaway here?
It really boils down to this. Consistency isn't about spending hours grinding away until you're exhausted. That's not sustainable. It's simply about showing up every day, even if it's just for those 15 minutes. The aim is to make English a natural part of your life, something you do, not just something you study sometimes, like watering that tree, remember, little bit, every day for strong, deep roots. Make it a lifestyle, not a task.
Yeah, weaving it into the fabric of your day. So we really hope you'll take a moment to think about those 6 steps we discussed. How can you apply them? How can you make your English learning less of a sprint and more of a, well, enjoyable daily walk?
So here's a final thought to chew on as you go about your day. What one small, consistent change will you make, starting today, to really deepen your English skills? Just one thing.
And remember to enjoy the process. Celebrate every new word, every sentence you manage, even the mistakes. They're all signs you're moving forward. They show your language tree is growing, getting stronger day by day.
Mastering English, not through magic, but through something maybe more powerful, consistent. Daily practice. We've gathered a whole lot of material, research, articles, notes, all distilled down to give you the essentials, the insights you need on this. Think of it as your shortcut.
Yeah, it was about cutting through the noise.
Exactly. And, one source had this great analogy. Learning English is like growing a tree.
Oh, I like that.
Right. You don't just plant it and walk away. It needs daily attention, just a little bit of water consistently.
Small inputs, big results over time.
That's the core idea. It's not about hours and hours or fancy gadgets necessarily. It's about showing up every day.
Consistency is the secret sauce, really.
So today, our mission is pretty clear. Give you actionable steps, maybe some surprising insights from the science. Look at how to tackle common problems.
The ones everyone runs into.
Yeah, those hurdles. And we'll share some success stories, ending with a solid action plan you can literally start using today.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack the why first. From a science angle, what's actually happening? Why is consistency such a superpower for language learning? In our brains, I mean.
Well, it's fascinating, actually. It comes down to this thing called neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't fixed. It literally physically changes based on what you do regularly.
So it rewires itself.
Exactly. When you practice English consistently, the pathways in your brain for understanding and using English get stronger, more efficient. It starts to feel more natural because your brain is building like a dedicated highway for it.
A highway for English. I like that.
And a key part of how that happens is spaced repetition. You know, instead of cramming, you review words or grammar points at increasing intervals.
Right. Just when you're about to forget them.
Pretty much. It signals to your brain, hey, this is important, keep it. It makes the memory stick in the long term, not just short term. It's like lifting progressively heavier weights for your memory.
So the brain's actively reshaping. That's
powerful. It makes me think of muscle memory, like riding a bike. That's a great analogy.
You don't consciously think about balancing after a while. And the sources mentioned this for pronunciation, even writing. Practicing those makes them smoother, automatic.
Absolutely. Your tongue, your mouth, your hand, they learn the movements. It becomes less effortful.
Frees up your brain to focus on what you want to say, not how to form the sounds or letters.
Precisely. But your earlier point is important too. Why do people still struggle if it can become automatic?
Yeah, like, do we just forget if we stop?
Well, that's where the forgetting curve comes in. It's a known phenomenon. If you learn something new and don't review it, you can forget like 50% of it within days.
Wow, half of it.
Yeah. So learn 10 new words today. Great. But you need to see them again tomorrow, maybe again in 3 days, then maybe a week later. That consistent exposure fights the forgetting curve. It tells your brain, no, keep this one.
It's amazing how the brain prioritizes. So all this science, neuroplasticity, spaced repetition, fighting the forgetting curve, it boils down to building actual confidence and fluency, right?
That's the payoff. Fluency isn't just knowing words, it's using English comfortably without constantly translating in your head or overthinking.
And the more you practice, the less scary making mistakes becomes.
Exactly. Confidence grows with practice. You start to see mistakes as just part of the process, not failures.
Okay, understanding the why is motivating, but the how, that's where people often get stuck. The sources offer some really practical daily things. So, expert, where do we start turning this science into like actual daily habits?
Right, let's get practical. Step 1, set realistic goals. This sounds basic, but it's where many people go wrong. They aim too high.
Like, I'll learn 50 words a day.
Exactly, and then they burn out. The trick is micro goals. Aim for something small, almost too easy. Learn maybe 5 new words, speak for just 10 minutes, read 1 article.
Why so small?
Because completing even a tiny goal gives your brain a little reward, a dopamine hit. It feels good. That makes you want to do it again tomorrow. It builds momentum.
Hacking your own brain chemistry. Smart.
Totally. So maybe your goal is today's words, ingredient, spicy, bitter, recipe, sweet, and then you actually try to use them. This recipe needs fresh ingredients, small, concrete, achievable.
Okay, micro goals. Got it. What's next?
Step 2, create a daily routine. Habit formation is key. You need to weave English practice into your existing schedule. Find an anchor point.
Like attaching it to something you already do.
Precisely. Listen to an English podcast while you make breakfast. Read a few pages of an English book before bed. Write that 1 paragraph about your day every evening.
Make it automatic, like brushing your teeth.
Exactly. Non-negotiable, but small enough that it doesn't feel like a huge burden.
I like that. And nowadays, we have so many tools, right? Technology must play a big role here.
Oh, absolutely. Which brings us nicely to step 3. Use technology and apps. They can make learning really interactive and, frankly, more fun.
So things like Duolingo.
Duolingo's good for gamified practice, yeah.
Yeah.
But also apps like Anki or Quizlet for flashcards, perfect for that spaced repetition we talked about.
Right, the digital flashcards.
Yeah. And don't just put the word in definition. Add a sentence, an image, maybe even record yourself saying it. Make it richer.
Good tip. What about speaking?
Platforms like italki or Perply are fantastic. You can find tutors for relatively cheap just for conversation practice. Real people, real interaction.
Okay, so leverage the tech. What else?
Step 4. Immerse yourself in English. Surround yourself with it. Make it unavoidable almost.
How do you do that practically?
Change your phone language to English. Watch Netflix shows. Maybe start with something like Friends or The Crown. Use English subtitles first. Then maybe try without.
Actively listen, not just passively watch.
Yes. Notice phrases. Like in The Crown, maybe you hear, "I'm delighted." Note it down. Try to use it later. Listen to English music. Look up the lyrics. Create your own little English bubble.
Creating that bubble makes sense. And I guess it's important not to just focus on one thing like only watching TV. You need a balance.
You definitely do. That's step 5. Practice all 4 skills. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Don't neglect any of them.
So break that down a bit. Listening.
Beyond shows, try TED Talks, podcasts on topics you like, maybe audiobooks. For speaking, find practice partners online, talk to friends, or honestly, just narrate your day to yourself in English out loud.
Talking to yourself.
Okay.
Reading.
News articles, like from The Guardian or BBC News. Find blogs or websites about your hobbies in English. Short stories, anything that interests you.
And writing. Seems intimidating for some.
Start small. Write reviews for movies or books you liked. Comment on social media in English. Keep a simple journal, even just a few sentences, like, "Watched Inception. Plot was complex, visuals amazing." Just get used to forming thoughts in written English.
Okay, cover all the bases. And the last step.
Step 6, track your progress. This is huge for motivation. Seeing how far you've come keeps you going.
How do you track effectively?
Keep a simple vocabulary log. Maybe record yourself speaking once a month. You'll hear the difference over time. It's powerful. Summarize books or articles you read. Just being able to say, "Wow, I learned 100 new words this month," or "My accent sounds clearer now." That's fuel.
That makes total sense. Seeing the progress makes the effort feel worthwhile. So connecting these steps back, it really highlights the hidden power of habits, doesn't it? And how to deal with those times when you just stall.
It really does. Because these daily actions, they build into the power of habits. You know, they say it takes around 66 days, give or take, for something to become automatic. After that, the consistency feels less like effort and more like just what you do.
66 days.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a target.
And remember the role of dopamine we mentioned. Those little bursts of pleasure from completing small tasks, they chemically reinforce the habit. Your brain starts to crave that little hit, making learning feel rewarding, not like a chore.
It's amazing how these small, consistent things add up. That compound effect is real. The source example was brilliant learning just 5 words a day.
Seems tiny, right? But do the math.
It's 1,825 words in a year. That's huge.
It's transformative. It shows how small, steady inputs create exponential growth over time. It's not about sudden leaps. It's about the persistent climb.
But let's be real. People hit roadblocks. What about the common challenges? Lack of time.
The classic excuse. But it's about integration, not finding extra time. Listen to English while cooking, commuting, cleaning. Combine it with things you already have to do.
Okay, multitasking. What about losing motivation? That spark just fizzles out.
That's where those clear micro goals and tracking progress come in. Remind yourself why you started. Celebrate the small wins consciously. Give yourself that dopamine boost.
And the big one, fear of making mistakes.
Reframe it. Mistakes aren't failures, they're feedback. They show you what you need to work on. Honestly, if you're not making mistakes, you're probably not pushing yourself enough. They are signs of growth.
Good way to look at it. What about hitting a plateau? You feel stuck, not improving.
That's actually often a sign you're ready for something new. Shake things up. If you always watch comedies, try a documentary. If you only read news, try fiction. Join a debate club. Find a new conversation partner. Change the method to break through.
So plateaus are signals to change tactics, not to give up. It's reassuring to hear these are normal. And seeing others succeed must help too.
Absolutely. Real-world inspiration is powerful. We mentioned Benny Lewis, the fluent in 3 months guy. His whole approach is built on consistent daily practice, especially speaking from day one, even if it's just 30 minutes.
He just dives in.
Yeah, imperfectly but consistently. And think about all the learners who reached fluency within a year just by committing to maybe 15 minutes of real conversation each day. It proves the principle. It's persistence, not genius.
Persistence over perfection. I like that. So let's crystallize this into that English mastery action plan for everyone listening, a takeaway they can use right away.
Okay, let's recap the core actions. 1, set micro goals, tiny, daily, achievable targets. 5 words, 10 minutes.
Make it almost impossible not to do it.
Exactly. 2, create a daily routine. Anchor it to existing habits, make it automatic.
Blend it into your life.
3, use tech tools smartly. Anki, Duolingo, Italki, leverage them for efficiency and fun. 4, immerse daily. Change phone settings, watch shows, listen to music, create that bubble.
Surround yourself.
5, practice all 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, writing, keep it balanced. And 6, track your progress. Logs, recordings, summaries, make your growth visible.
That's a solid plan. Simple steps, but together they're powerful. It really comes back to that central idea, doesn't it? Consistency isn't about marathon sessions.
Not at all.
It's just about showing up. Every single day.
Yeah.
Even 15 minutes counts towards watering that language tree.
Absolutely. Think of English less as a school subject and more as part of your life, something you engage with daily.
And celebrate the journey.
Definitely. Celebrate every word, every sentence, yes, even every mistake. They're all proof you're moving forward, proof you're growing. That's the real win.
So the final thought for everyone listening, building on all this, what's the one small, consistent change you will make starting today to really nurture your English language tree?